and welcome to In My Mug, edition 4 on Monday the 27th of October 2008, if you've got that one out. Right, you join me again today in the cupping lab. It just seems like a very natural place to be doing these, so yeah, I think I'm going to be doing quite a few more from here. Thank you very much for all of your feedback so far. Been absolutely awesome, loving it. I mean, just can't tell you how much I'm grateful for people just dropping me a line and letting me know. Please, if you want to kind of drop me any notes, any suggestions, any hints, promise not to do the dance this time, thank you for that one. Please do at Steve, S-T-E-V-E, at hasbeen, hasbean.co.uk, and yeah, I've really been enjoying your comments, so thank you. Coffee I'm going to talk about today is another challenging one. I started off with the two easy ones. I'm kind of getting into the slightly harder ones now. I'm going to give myself an easy one next time, that's for sure. The coffee I'm going to talk about is Monsoon Malabar. I'm sure many of you will have heard of Monsoon Malabar and kind of seen it on a lot of offerings. But I felt it was important for us to talk about ours, because ours is quite different and has taken an awful lot of effort to get. So, what I'm going to show you first of all I'm going to take you back my mug, because I have to, but it's not a mug, it's a demi-tasse. So, basically, before Hasbeen became Hasbeen the Roastery, we were a coffee shop. We had a very, very small shop in Stafford where it was challenging. It wasn't the greatest location. We hadn't got the biggest budget, and yeah, I mean, you know, we were there for 3 years, and you know, there were some good times and some not so good times, but really what happened, we kind of grew out of the whole shop idea and decided that, you know, what I really wanted to do was to roast coffee. So that's how we've got to where we are. But this is one of the very last cups that I've got from the shop. A lot of them got broken, a lot of them got lost in the moves when we kind of moved from place to place. But I was searching through what to do today, and this one jumped out at me, so I thought I'm going to use that one. So, Monsoon Malabar. Why is it called Monsoon Malabar? Well, first of all, the monsoon has a big part to play in it. What happens is the beans are harvested, and then they're put in open-sided warehouses where the monsoon winds come and blow through these warehouses. And what it actually does to the green bean, I'm just going to bring this up to the camera to show you. It makes it very light. Now compare that to a normal green bean, and you can see how much lighter it is, paler it is. If you were here also, what you'll be able to see is the density of these beans. They're much lighter than the green beans, and they're almost swollen and expanded. So, what does that do to the actual flavours? Well, I mean, first of all, Monsoon Malabar needs to be a much darker roast for me than what we would tend to go with. And I guess this is part of what causes me a problem, but if you do it lighter, then it's just way too nutty and not great, not good at all. So, yeah, what does it do? I mean, first of all, it gives it a real mustiness, almost like an aged coffee where you've got Old Brown Java or something like that. It has very similar properties to those coffees. In the cup, what does that do? Well, that gives you an awful lot of body, mutes any sweetness, and just virtually no acidity at all. It just kills the acidity in there. Monsoon Malabar is in a very acquired taste. It's certainly not my bag, and it's a coffee that I really struggle with. But what we did, we cut lots of samples of it. You know, it's like the Sumatra that we talked about last time. Is we cup it. This is the place that we do it, on the table, and we find the very best that we can. The great thing is with this one, we've always got a bit of a head start because we've dealt with Fayaz now for 4 years, and every time it's the best possible example of an Indian Monsoon Malabar that I've ever come across, and certainly a lot of people who I respect in the industry have come across too. He pays the same kind of care and attention to his Monsoon Malabar as lots of our other growers do to their coffees, and unfortunately in a lot of Monsoon Malabars that's not the case. So when you're buying your Monsoon Malabar, ask where it's come from, ask who grew it, ask about the provenance of it. I'm going to bang on about provenance on every single one of these in my mugs, but you know, find out about what's in your Monsoon Malabar. So, a new idea of what I'm going to do is, again, bring it up to the camera. These are the grinds, and what I'm going to do is go on the aroma. Nobody sniffs coffee, and I think you really should. Aroma can kind of give you so much of a precursor of what's to come in the cup. It's used a lot in cuppings to find defaults, to find things that are wrong with the coffee. But for me, when coffee's good, it still can also really give you a big lead into what's coming. So let me get this snozzer in there. Obviously I know what this coffee is, so but even if I didn't, I would have a big clue from that smell what's coming through. Massive tobacco, that kind of real cigar tobacco, not that sweet stuff I was talking about in the last one, but like real earthy kind of bold tobacco. A little bit of spice, a little bit nutty too, and these are all things that I'm going to expect in the cup. You know, you will find these things in the cup. Incredibly unusual coffee, and certainly not atypical of an aroma from a coffee. So let's get in the cup. Now I find these tastes very challenging. I've said this before to friends and colleagues that Monsoon Malabar is an acquired taste. It's a Marmite coffee. It's another one of the Marmites. You either love it, you hate it, but you're going to have an opinion on it. You know, you really, really are. Earthy is the first thing, and if you haven't, taste earth, kind of, or get earth and smell it, and kind of get really close to the base, and that's what Monsoon Malabar gives you, is that real earthiness. Great part it gives you is body. With that earthiness comes big body, and in the espresso, body is just such a lovely thing to come across, particularly with a lot of the bright acidic fancy coffees that you know that we stock. It's a big departure. Then on the aftertaste, it is like chewing a cigar. You know, very smoky, almost like bacon rind smoky, with a real big cigar. And I love cigars. I'm just not 100% sure I like them in my coffee. But the aftertaste, it's almost like jute-like. And again, if you haven't tasted jute, taste some jute. You know, kind of get that feeling. But it's a little bit astringent, and what astringency is the best way I can describe it is a cup of black tea. Drink some black tea, and what does that do to your mouth? It kind of dries the mouth out quite quickly, and the saliva kind of disappears. And that's what I find with this one. It's almost a little astringent, which is not something again I like in my coffee. But if we had on here 10 Monsoon Malabars, I would guarantee you 100% that this is the one I'd be picking out every time, because it is the very best in its class. I have an internal problem with some of these coffees. You know, I kind of think, well, should we sell them, because I'm not such a massive fan. And there are times like today I've actually enjoyed going back and looking at them, and I think we should. I think, you know, you guys have proved to us that you like these coffees, you like the coffees that I don't necessarily like, so I'm going to keep getting them, and I'm going to keep looking for them, and I'm also going to judge them objectively, let the cup and table do the work and tell me what we should be stocking. So I'm going to wrap it up there, but thanks ever so much for tuning in again. You know, I'm consistently blown away with how many people have watched these videos and how many people have commented on how much they enjoy them. So please keep that feedback coming, and yeah, I'll talk to you really soon.